How's it going, everyone? I'm back finally. Last week, last week, made a video. I had it all set up. It was ready to go. I had it uploaded on YouTube, and I forgot to change it to public so everyone could see it. So that's why there was no video last week, like I had said. Yeah, we'll be making that mistake though with this week. So here we go. Last week, Penn State. Oh my goodness. Upsetting number 2, Ohio State. Also, something you might not have known, they upset number 3 in college hockey, Notre Dame, in overtime on the road. What a weekend for Penn State athletics. Like, that is crazy. Ohio State fell from the ranks. Well, they didn't fall from the ranks. They fell in the ranks. Which, it baffles me because I was watching it on my phone while we were watching SNL. And I just could not believe it. I had it on. I feel like Donald Trump. Like, it was huge. Such a huge victory. But it was crazy. I just cannot believe that Penn State won over Ohio State. That gives everyone else a chance, like, hey, we can beat this team. And it kind of shakes up the East, Big Ten East. So this week, I'm going to keep it relatively short, hopefully about 10 minutes. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but I'm going to keep it short. I'm only going to go over football and hockey like I intended to go over last week. But this is just how it's going to be for this week. I'm going to do a preview of football, hockey, just some big matchups, top 20 in hockey, and then in top 25 for football. So let's get to it. Number 3 hosts, actually they're in Florida State, number 12 this weekend. Washington visits Utah this weekend. That's a 4-17 matchup. And for the hometown guys, Nebraska visits Wisconsin this weekend, 7-11. This will be a big game for both teams. It's a big game for the West. It'll determine really a lot for the Big Ten West and who will represent them in the Big Ten championship game. It'll also show everyone just what kind of team Nebraska is, what kind of team Wisconsin is, but everyone's like 7-0 Nebraska. Like, are they really that good? This game will show that. Also, next week will show that, but we have to get through this week. This week first, next week is next week. So that's NCAA football. Just some really big games in top 25. College hockey week 5. We'll start here at Boston College Providence. It's an 8-14 matchup on Friday. Minnesota visits St. Lawrence. It's a 12-18 matchup on Saturday. Hometown UNO hosts number 5 in the nation, UMass Lowell. It'll be an interesting weekend. That's all I'm going to say. It'll be an interesting weekend to see how these guys can respond after a not so great weekend against Vermont last week. They tied 4-4 on Friday, eventually having the game-ending overtime goal in double overtime and 3-on-3. And then they took a huge loss, 5-2 on Saturday to the same Vermont team. We'll see. Vermont showed a lot of good play. They really outplayed us on Saturday. In every game this year, UNO has given up a 2-0 lead or a 2-goal lead. So we're going to see just how this team responds to a top 5 team this early in the season. Next week, little heads up, NCHC first conference matchup this season. CC will come to town for the first time in Baxter Arena history, so that'll be interesting to see them at home. And in what is going to be the biggest series this weekend, features 2 NCHC teams. Number 1, North Dakota against number 2, Minnesota Duluth. I believe I saw it's the 9th time ever that number 1 and number 2 have met in the regular season, I believe. This is the 4th time for Duluth to be involved in a 1-2 matchup. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see some results. It's awesome. It's going to be so sweet to see if these two are the 2 best teams in the nation. Hopefully they keep it close. Hopefully one team doesn't blow out each other, unless that's just how they play. I mean, I can't control it. You can't control it. It'll be fine. It'll be a big matchup. One thing about the USCHO poll this last weekend was that the top 3 teams were all from the NCHC, the same conference as UNO, which just shows that we are truly the SEC of college hockey. Omaha fell from the ranks. They were ranked 20th last week. They fell after, like I said, a very poor showing against Vermont. They're still receiving votes, but they're, I believe, 27th, if there was a spot to be 27th in the poll. So that's all I have for this week. I wanted to just keep it simple, keep it so where you guys can just open it up and be really quick, get my opinions on some things, and that's about it, guys. If you have anything you want to see, any suggestions for a name for the channel or anything, really anything, any comments you want to leave that down below, and I will see you guys next week.